Oh, we have nailed this. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Hey bakers, welcome back to my channel. You're with Nicole, and if you're new here, I share lots of delicious home-style recipes as well as baking tips and tricks. Today we're going to be making a beautiful gluten-free scone recipe. If you're allergic to gluten or if you are a celiac, then this recipe is for you. I also have a scone recipe up on my channel if you just want a traditional scone, so make sure you check that one out as well. But this one is for my gluten friends. So let's get to it. Gluten intolerances are quite common these days. I know so many people that have allergies or just doesn't sit quite well with them. So you don't have to miss out on eating all the good stuff as well. I have had a few requests for more gluten-free recipes, so this one is for you guys. So come and check out what you are gonna need. For the scone batter, we have some gluten-free all-purpose flour, and this is something that you can usually just buy in a normal supermarket. Have a look in the flour section. I've also got some baking powder, baking soda, and a little bit of salt. There's some sugar here. I have some chopped butter, and that is cold. You want to keep it nice and cold until you're going to use it. So don't take it out of the fridge until you're about to use your mixture. Over here, I have some cream, some beautiful thickened cream there, and also some mineral water. So that is going to be the base of our scones over there. Over here, I have a couple more ingredients, and they're just to finish it off for the top. So I have a little bit of milk just to brush it with, and that's gonna make it go nice and golden. I also have a little bit of some really nice thick granulated sugar, and we're gonna sprinkle that on top. And here is just a little bit more of that gluten-free flour. I might need some as I go if it's a bit too wet, or as I'm going to knead it out as well, I'll put a little bit over here. Now I call it a scone. If you're in other parts of the world, you might call it a scone or maybe even something different. I want to know, how do you pronounce it, scone or scone? Before we bring together this mixture, we want our ovens cranking. So I have mine on 200 degrees Celsius or around 390 degrees Fahrenheit. Grab yourself a mixing bowl and let's get started. So I'm just going to add in my flour and my chemical leaveners and the sugars. So add them all in, so pretty much the dry ingredients, and we're going to whisk it so that all of the ingredients are evenly dispersed. Grab your chopped butter, and we're also going to add this in now as well. Out you go. Now I have chopped my butter quite nice and small. You can also grate your butter. It works really well if you have a really cold block of butter to grate that up and use it in any scone recipe. And now we're just going to mix it with our fingertips. Try not to use your hands because it will heat the butter. So go ahead now and kind of crumble it and mix it in with the flour. So I'm just grabbing any butter clumps here, and I'm just pressing it into my fingertips with the flour, and it's just crumbling that butter into a smaller, smoother texture that goes into the flour. So as you can see, there's no massive clumps of the butter anymore. And now it's time to make a well. So grab yourself a butter knife and make a well in the center. In the well, we're going to add our mineral water and our thickened cream. Now with our knife, we're going to use it as a mix, and it's going to cut the mix together and create the batter. So we want to use the butter knife because it helps to create a really nice flaky texture for the scones. We don't want to over mix, we just want to mix it until it's combined. Okay, it's looking good. Now, I'm just going to use your hands. Might get a bit messy, so roll up those sleeves. I'm just going to get this batter, and I'm going to turn it out onto my working space over here. So I'll just move these over here so you can see. Now I think I will put down a little bit of flour. Doesn't need too much. Tiny bit more. Awesome. And out comes the dough. just a little bit of flour on the top as well. Make it easier. And I'm just going to push it down with my hands. You can use a rolling pin if you like, but it's probably not necessary. Push these down until they're about 2 centimeters tall, and that's probably about right. And for my American friends, about 1 inch or less. Now to cut the scones, I was originally thinking I was going to use a cookie cutter. So I actually couldn't find a traditional style cookie cutter, but I have these Halloween ones, and this one's a pumpkin. But in saying that, I think I'm going to change my mind and I'm going to use a dough cutter instead. I think it'll work well for this. So I'm just going to try and cut these evenly. So I think I can get about 9 out of these. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this now. Straight down the center. Now you'll often find as well with gluten-free recipes, often they're a little bit wetter before you bake them, and that's normal. If you don't have a cutter like this, you could just use a knife. Totally fine. Now some of these ones that are a bit triangular in shape, I'm just going to try and reshape them so they're a bit more rectangle like the other ones. All right, grab yourself some baking trays. I have 2 quarter sheet baking trays here lined with some parchment paper. You can put them on one big one if your oven's big enough. Otherwise, actually I might even be able to fit them all on. We'll see how we go. Start placing them on our little baking tray here. Yes, I'm gonna be able to get them on, so that's awesome. They look lovely. Now I have left a little bit of room between them here, about 1 centimeter between each one, just so that they can grow. They're not going to expand like a cookie would, but just give them a little bit of space so that they can do that growing. Okay, before they go in the oven, we need to give them a little bit of a coating with some milk here. You can also use egg wash. I'm just going to use milk today. I'm just going to help them brown up. So go all around the top, the sides, and give them a baste with the milk. Now the traditional scone recipe that I have up on my channel, that one's actually really popular. Everyone quite likes that recipe. It's really easy to do, has similar style of ingredients, probably even less than this one, and so delicious as well. So definitely check out that one if you can have gluten. All right, so that's good. These are covered in milk now, and just before they go into the oven, we're just going to sprinkle the tops with a little bit of sugar. This step is optional, but I just find that it makes the tops of the scones extra crispy and a little bit sweet as soon as you bite into them, so they're extra delicious. And I just think that this sugar works really well just to make them pop a little bit more. They look awesome. How good do they look? All right, these need to go into the oven now for around 15 to 20 minutes. We're gonna check them halfway, give them a rotate because some of them will brown on different sides, and we want them to all look beautiful and cook evenly. So into the oven and check them at halfway. All right, peeps, you know what time it is? Well, our baked goods are baking. It's time to read you a lovely inspirational quote, and I like to do that to send out the good vibes your way. The one that I found for you today that I quite liked was, happiness is the new rich, inner peace is the new success, health is the new wealth, kindness is the new cool. What a cool quote. I really like that one, and it just really resonated with me. It's a new year here, and I think it's a really good time just to change your perspective on, you know, what are the things that are important. Obviously health, always number one, really, really important. Happiness and inner peace. So how can you find ways throughout this year to bring those things your way? And don't they look cute? 20 minutes on the dot. They're nice and golden brown. We're just gonna let them cool a little bit now. So while they're cooling, they're gonna be way too hot, but while they're cooling, go find yourself some cream. So thickened cream, cottage cream, whipped cream, whatever cream you want, and some jam, your favorite jam. I always love strawberry. I'm just such a classic with this kind of thing. So strawberry jam, blueberry jam, knock yourself out. And have I missed anything? Let me know if you eat something weird on your scone, like peanut butter. If you are looking for a homemade jam recipe, I also have a raspberry chia seed one that would go really nicely with this. So I'll leave that in the description box below for you to check out that one. Now, it's time to crack one of these open. They're still warm, which is great. You want to have a scone when it's still a little bit warm. So let's do it. Wow, check out the steam. I mean, you would really not even be able to tell that this doesn't have any gluten in it. Look how light and fluffy this scone is. Absolutely amazing. Oh, so beautiful. Check it out. I'm so excited to eat it. So now it's time for some cream. Don't be shy. Get it on there. Actually, oops, I did that wrong. You meant to go jam first and then cream, I think. But anyway. Whoop. Don't fall off. How good does this look? Alrighty. Oh, we have nailed this. It's so good. Oh my gosh, so delicious. Oh. Whoa. I'm actually just blown away by how delicious it is. They're just really beautifully cooked. They got that little crunch on the top because of the sugar. They're nice and brown. They're a traditional scone flavor. So they're very plain, they're very simple. And then if you have that beautiful cream, beautiful jam, it just works so well. Super light and fluffy, which is exactly what we want. And best of all, no gluten. So I've just been told that I should probably apologize for the way that I just ripped apart this scone. It was a bit unconventional of me, and I know that that's not the normal way to have a scone. So I'm gonna stack one for you the normal way. I just got scone bread, I got so excited, and then I just wanted to eat it. So I just, you know, got all of the ingredients on there all at once. But I'll make a really pretty one for you to look at. There you go, guys. 10 out of 10 gluten-free scones. Make it. Let me know how much you love it. I want to see how you go. And thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen today. If you do like this video, if you like the recipe, make sure you give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell as well because I have a new video coming out every single week. And if there are any recipes that you want to learn how to make sure you let me know in the comment section below as well. I'm gonna go stack all these scones, start eating some more, and have a cup of tea. So have a lovely day, and I'll see you again next time.